So today's video is going to be me cooking what I feel is a 5-star meal inside of a cheapy hotel. So as you can see, steak is on the menu. Let's get it. So basically what I wanted to do was eat some of my favorite comfort foods, and rice-a-roni is kind of legendary in the hood. I don't know about anybody else, but rice-a-roni has always been. As you can see, I got my water. It's boiling. Well, it will be boiling. Getting it ready to drop that rice inside and, get to it. So I also bought this lovely piece of Atlantic salmon. It was so long, it was folded under in the packaging, so I unfolded it, and as you can see, that's the part that does not have any seasoning on it. It came pre-seasoned, but I'm also going to add my own seasonings to it just so that I can give it that nice little taste that I love so much. So we're going to make sure that this thing is flavorful, honey. Now what I did find was this small Montreal steak seasoning pack. I didn't really want to buy the whole bottle of seasoning because of the fact that I'm at the hotel. I don't really need to purchase a $5 bottle of seasoning that I'm only using for 1 or 2 pieces of meat. So I got the little pack and I'm going to season that with my steak. It's going to be awesome, guys. So what I did do was poke holes in my steak because I'm going to be pretty much sauteing it in a skillet on the stove top. So you just want to make sure that you are poking holes in your meat when you're doing any kind of cooking so that all of that flavor, that heat, that smoke, all of that can go inside of the meat. You want your meat to be flavorful. You want to make sure that it is going throughout the entire piece of meat. So as you can see, I got that seasoning. We're about to get things seasoned up, looking real pretty, ready for that skillet, honey. Now we've got our fish seasoned. As you can see, it looks beautiful. It looks so tasty, just uncooked. I wouldn't dare eat it uncooked. Some people might will, but not me. But I got it all seasoned, and as you can see, I got the steak seasoned as well. I used that Montreal steak seasoning, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of pepper, just a little sprinkle of salt. I don't really want to do too much salt. I think that Montreal steak has enough in it to begin with. And you're supposed to let it marinate for 15 minutes. That's what it says on the Montreal steak seasoning pack. So that's exactly what we did, okay? Get it tuned. Now we got our rice cooking. You have to continue to keep stirring the rice. If you do not, it is going to stick to the bottom of your pot. Now this pot is actually courtesy of the hotel. My skillet is something of my own. I bought from like a thrift store that I travel with when I go to hotels like this that have kitchens. But keep stirring that rice, okay? Because if you don't, like I said, it's gonna stick to the bottom of that pan, honey. Now this is after I put that cheese powder packet inside, honey. When I tell y'all, this rice is my favorite rice. Oh my gosh, I kept sampling it. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I kept sampling this rice. And I used both boxes, so it looks extremely cheesy because there's 2 packets that I had to use. And 1 packet was probably enough, but I wanted it to be extra cheesy. So I just went on ahead and added both packs to the rice. And you just want to keep stirring that. And to be honest, take it off the heat as soon as you do the step. Now we have what was supposed to be grilled asparagus, but I couldn't find asparagus. So I got some green beans out of the frozen section for like $2. And as you can see, they are boiling. I put a stick of butter in there, or a piece of stick of butter, so that it can get that nice flavor. But you'll see what we do with it next though. Now, this is the finished product of me searing the meats in a skillet. And to be honest with you, I put both pieces of meat in the same skillet. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Remember, we in a cheap hotel. It's only 2 eyes on the stove. We gotta do what we gotta do. So I put both pieces of meat, and all I did was spray it with some olive oil spray that I have in a can, and I just let it sear. I just let it sear and cook and get all of that nice flavor that you see on top. Is grilled perfectly, cooked all the way through, and it's actually very tender. You want to make sure of that. Flip it both sides. Now, this is the green beans. Once I took it out of the boiling water, I shocked it with some cold water, drained it, and then I put it inside of the skillet with all of that juice and flavor from the steak and the salmon. Okay, we used all of that good flavor, all of that goodness, and I'm basically just letting them saute. I like them to be kind of crispy with that flavor on it, so I just let them sit and just cook for a while until they get that nice, crispy, flavor coated, just lovely ooiness inside. Now, once again, we are at the hotel. We are limited to space because we only have 2 eyes on the stove. So I took my 2 pieces of garlic bread and I sat them inside along with the green beans. I know some people are going to have something to say about it, but you know what? I don't really care. I put it in there, and you just want to let them sit. You're going to start to notice that they are browning on each side. You have to make sure that they're not frozen when you put them in there. I let them thaw naturally and then decided to cook them the way that I'm cooking them now, as you can see. Now, this is just one side. The top side is not cooked. Now, as you can see, I flipped them over. I removed my green beans from out because they were already done. And now I just have my garlic toast in there. And as you can see, it looked like it just came out of a stove. You don't have to necessarily have a stove, and I'm just pointing out the stain that, or not the stain, but like the scratch that's on the stove from the hotel. Like I said, we in a cheap hotel, so you're gonna see some things that may be questionable. But look, 2 eyes, that's it. This is what I'm cooking this 5-star meal on, honey, in a cheap hotel, right off instinct, just like that. So you're just letting it cook, just like how I let the meat cook. Put it on one side. Once you see it browning, flip it over. Same thing with this garlic bread. Flip it on over. Just keep spraying it if you have to spray it with some type of olive oil spray or cooking spray, just so that it can stay moisturized. And look, the finished product. Now tell me that don't look good. If it don't look good to you, it dang sure look good to me. And we did all this at a cheapy $55 hotel on a stove with 2 eyes.